Hey guys, and welcome back to All About Nerd. Today we're going to be doing our half-season review of the Ahsoka TV show on Disney+. We're going to focus a little bit on the likes and dislikes of what we've seen so far in the first 4 episodes, and talk about the things that we hope that we see in the next coming episodes. The first thing that we want to focus on is some of the things that we really like about the show so far. Particularly, the very first thing that I know I like the most is that the show is a very good continuation of the Rebels story. I feel like that if you change the animation style back to what it was CGI, I think it would be a perfect transition into the 5th season of Rebels. I think that it's done a very good job, particularly with that very first episode where it turned out to be taking place before the season of Rebels ended, whereas it's the starting point of this show takes place in between the last bit of the 4th season of the episodes.
Yeah, I think the characters feel true to what we've seen in Rebels. The actors have done a good job doing their homework and following the same beats as what the cartoon characters are and where their story arcs, like, I guess we left off. And with that, even the visuals of this season feels like it was pulled out of the cartoons. I mean, I didn't think they were going to pull out Lothal, but it looks visually in live action, Lothal looks what we see in the cartoons. So kudos to the team, the Lucasfilm team, for actually making it feel like we are in Lothal in live action, and what you will think Lothal will be like, we are seeing it. One of the things we do agree on and we like is the characters of Baylan and Shin. Even though they're very mysterious, we really don't know where they come from. I noticed that the lightsabers are not red, but they're kind of like dark orange. So we don't know really what their motives are. I know they align themselves with Morgan, but what is ultimately their goal? I mean, they really don't care about Thrawn the way Morgan does. But so far, all of Baylan's dialogue and even Shin's dialogue between her and the Master, at times Shin disagreeing with Baylan, I find it kind of interesting, and I like that mystery behind them and their interactions. What is one of your likes?
Bouncing off of the fact that we like the villains, one thing that I've really liked so far also about the show is the fact that they haven't really shown us any filler episodes, or at least nothing that they've shown us has felt like a filler episode, unlike the previous shows where Mandalorian had filler episodes where if you remove those episodes from the show, it wouldn't change the story or it wouldn't make you change the way you feel about where the story was going. Whereas here, if you removed any one of the first 4 episodes, you'd kind of be missing something in the storyline. And I really like that so far, that we have gotten a very good story that's very well written. I do believe that the entire show was written by Dave Filoni, and he's done a very good job of actually being with the directors of the current episodes, of making sure that they stay on point. So it feels, again, goes back to, it feels like a Rebels episode. It's a very good continuation of the story. I do like the fact that the villains, like you were saying, are mysterious, and we know where Baylan came from. We just don't know what his motives are. We don't know what his ultimate goal is. I do like his apprentice. I like that Shin is, at first I thought she was going to be kind of bratty, or she was going to be kind of an annoying kind of character, but she's done a very good job, at least the actress, of not coming off that way. She looks like she's actually leaning more towards the dark side than Baylan would be, because Baylan seems like he has more self-control, whereas she doesn't. She seems a little bit more impulsive. She kind of matches the energy that Sabine is giving off, so when they fight off, I think they play very, very well off of each other. So I think it's done a very good job so far of giving us a very good story doesn't feel like filler. It doesn't feel like we've been missing too much. There are some things that I wish we would see that we haven't seen, but I love where we left off so far in the story.
Even though Ahsoka feels like Rebels Season 5, I don't understand why Mos Espa wouldn't help Hera when in this part of the timeline of Ahsoka, they had just defeated the Emperor. There's remnants of the Empire, and every single commercial that we've seen on the Ahsoka TV show tells us that Thrawn is such a big deal, and he's such a menace or evil that is out there. Why didn't Mos Espa help Hera? And where the heck is Luke? Where's Leia? Wouldn't you want these people right now, especially in the Ahsoka TV show, to come and help you defeat Thrawn, or trying to get Ezra back? If that you can get Ezra. I just don't understand where Ahsoka would ask Sabine of all people for help and not call Luke and be like, hey, I know you're busy with your school, but Thrawn, who is the heir to the Empire, Palpatine's Empire, is out there and there's a way he might come back. Come and help me. I just don't get why wouldn't she call Luke or Leia and instead calls Sabine for help. I don't understand. So that's kind of like one of my gripes with this show. Yes, it does feel like, Rebel Season 5, and I enjoy it and the visuals and everything. But if you really think, how come she's not asking Luke and Leia for help?
On that as well, where we left off in The Mandalorian, you know that he's a freelancer now and that he's taking jobs again. Why not hire the Mandalorian to go with you? Somebody that's trained to fight and do things like that to go with him. Now, I understand why they got to bring Sabine in because it's a continuation of the show. But that brings me to the thing that I dislike the most so far is the missed opportunity so far in the show. Whereas I don't believe that they've utilized the cast of the original Rebels team. They haven't utilized them enough or properly, in my opinion. I think that they kind of wasted the opportunity of the character of Sabine. While I do like the way that the actress has portrayed Sabine, I don't think that they've given Sabine enough development for us to be really rooting for her right now. She's kind of like a bratty mess right now. She feels like an Anakin from the very first 3 episodes of the movie, and I don't like the way that she's kind of coming off right now. And I get it. I understand why she's acting like that. But I feel like it's a wasted opportunity. I feel like she should be better trained. I feel like she should be more combat ready when it comes to the Mandalorian side. But she's neither trained well as a Jedi and she's neither trained well as a Mandalorian. So she's kind of like in the middle of nowhere, not being able to fight and just having to surrender or just wing it, basically. And I don't like that. I do not like that they haven't shown Hera in action other than the last episode that she showed up right now. She was about to help. You mentioned to me before that where is Zeb? We know it was a perfectly missed opportunity in the last episode that we saw where they come and help. Hera has a bunch of people that are in X-Wings fighting with her, and we know that the pilot that is helping her had Zeb on his side. He was part of that team. So where is he? Why isn't he here in this particular episode or this particular series? I don't understand why they're not utilizing him. I don't know if it's an issue because the CGI would have been difficult for them to do, but I feel like it's a hugely wasted opportunity so far, and I don't feel like they've actually utilized those original characters well. Because I get it, this is the Ahsoka show, it's not the Rebels show, but if you're going to utilize those characters, then utilize them properly, or give us a little bit more story as to what's been going on with them, or give us a little bit more action, because so far they've kind of tied their hands and they haven't really done anything with those characters. So these have been some of our thoughts about what we've liked and disliked about the first 4 episodes of the Ahsoka TV series so far. I know that there's a lot of things that we'd like to see changed, and I know that there's a lot of things that we talked about that we didn't like about the show. That doesn't mean we haven't enjoyed it. It's been a very good show for both of us. I do believe that the series is going in a very good direction. I do believe that it's going to culminate in a very good story at the end when we see that movie. Hopefully it's within the next 2 years, because the way that these shows are being developed and with the writer's strike, it may be a while before we get to see that live action movie. So I do hope that they already had this planned out and mapped out prior to the writer's strike. Now, I do believe that they've done a very good job from the very beginning of Mandalorian to what they've done now with the TV shows and expanding the story and trying to get everybody reinterested in the Star Wars universe. I think this is a very good jumping point for them to actually start establishing the universe, where now that they have the capability of saying that they're traveling to another galaxy, maybe we can start getting some different stories that are related to the Jedi or Force users in other galaxies outside of the one that we're in right now. That way we don't have to be dealing with the Republic or any other type of Jedi. We want stories that are brand new. And now that you've introduced a new area that can be completely, hasn't been heard of before, that has completely new stories, kind of like what they've done with the Marvel universe, where they've done it where, it's multi-world now, it's multiverse. You can do stories that are completely unrelated to what we've seen so far and just say, well, over here doesn't affect what's going on over here because it's a completely different area and they don't interact with one another. So it'd be cool to see that type of thing. Maybe they get thrown into a new galaxy and this is where they're fighting the battle. So I hope we get to see some new stories come from this, but I do believe that we're going in a good direction. Anything else?
Space whales. They did the space whales very well. I was happy about that. All right, guys. Well, that is all. Thank you so much for watching. And like always, can't wait to guys have back here at All About Mirror. We'll see you guys later.